It's your boy Console Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Console Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998. And if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Falls back again. Falls back again. Falls back again. Out here in New England. Oh, look at her in her yoga pants and the matching vest. She basic as she sips her pumpkin latte all through the day till it goes away. It gets dark too soon. It gets dark too soon. It gets dark too soon. And for Halloween, she dresses up as a character from Sailor Moon. Forget about the sunlight, it goes away around 4:30. I hate how Christmas stuff fills the stores too early. Will any NFL team sign Ty Gurley? Cause he's a free agent. Soon we'll all find ourselves in winter's way. You seek up to your heater, try to turn it on as late as possible. I need some heat, it's too cold. But the bills are expensive, so you just bundle up a little more. Why is heating oil so expensive? I can't believe it. My old house has electric heat. It's worse than oil costs. I gotta turn it down so I don't go broke. So you should move to Florida and become a snowbird, so you don't have to deal with the winters. It's so cold and snowy up here.
What up? What up? It's your boy ConcertViz34. We're back at it again. Another weekend and another DMB Friday, Saturday setup. Dave Matthews Band, Grand Rapids, Michigan tonight. This leg of the tour is all East Coast, so we will not be having anything in the Central Time Zone or further west. By the way, don't forget to set your clocks back. If you outside of Arizona, right, and there's some other areas that don't do daylight savings time. But we're gonna look at this show in Grand Rapids. We have a guest that'll be on in about 15, 20 minutes from now that went to the show. But Dave Matthews Band in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, here's what I'll say. We'll get some feedback from someone who was there. However, I actually think that the last two shows are like the last two Michigan State football games. Right? This is a team that was contending for the college football playoff. They are a top team in the nation. So last week, Michigan State upset Michigan, their rival, to stay undefeated at the time. All right, Tony C is going to be ready shortly. But Michigan lost to Michigan State. It was a wow. This team made a statement. Last night, Dave Matthews Band made a statement as far as what they played, how they played it. And then this week, Michigan State lost to Purdue, which is an unranked team. Yes, they were on the road, but they lost to Purdue. And it was like, well, we knew Michigan State may lose a game. They may be upset. But listen, they did not bring their best on the road against Purdue, and thus it felt like a notch down. When I look at tonight's set list, I see a set that is catered for more of a mainstream fan base. It's catered for more of a casual show in a market that doesn't typically get Dave Matthews Band. This is a venue that has had two other shows prior to tonight. The first show at this venue in Grand Rapids was in 1998, November 19th, 1998. Bella Fleck and the Flecktones opened up, and Bella would play on Don't Drink the Water, Minarets, in Typical Situation. The encore was I'll Back You Up and Tripping Billies, but this was at a time where the band could not miss. There were very few throwaway songs. The band played their second show at this arena in Grand Rapids in 1999. They actually came back. They were in November 98 with show one. Early May of 99, on May 16th, they came back and they had a drive-in, drive-out opener. At the time, it was the first drive-in drive-out opener since 1996. And then they had Say Goodbye, A Lover Lay Down, Two Step in the main set, Long Black Veil, What Would You Say Encore. So these are two great shows at the band's prime. But tonight they seem to say, hey, this is a market that doesn't get much D&B. We're going to play more of the popular hits. We're going to play it safe. We're going to bust out Come Tomorrow. And in my opinion, this show was a step down setlist wise from last night. When they start off a show with That Girl Is You, it's not going to be a top-notch all-time show. Just plain and simple. All right. I know some people like that song. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm just not a huge fan of it. So they start off with That Girl Is You. They pick up after that with Funny the Way It Is, and then we get Satellite. So the first three songs, you could have been late to this show and you wouldn't have missed anything. Although I do like Funny the Way It Is. They've done a great job with it, especially with Buddy Strong having his little solo. But these are three songs that you could miss and not be sad. They have a powerful Seek Up after that, which was great from what I heard listening to people that were recording it live. You have Stay or Leave, right? Seek Up, Stay or Leave. Awesome, right? Awesome two songs. Then they go to She, which was played last night. I don't know why they're playing it again. To me, this is a bootleg wannabe grunge song, a wannabe Pearl Jam song that doesn't hit the mark. It, to me, doesn't hit the mark. This isn't something Dave Matthews Band should be playing. They're not Pearl Jam. And then you get a Where Are You Going, right? Only the fifth of the tour. Again, more of a mainstream hit. And then you get a PNP Rapunzel, which is a good, great, great combo. But when you go 6 songs in and you don't really have much outside of Seek Up, you're still waiting for more. Here's where you get You and Me, as I call it, You and Me and Why I Am. So you get these two big whiskey songs back to back. And I know Why I Am is a fan favorite. I think it's a great studio track. Not a huge fan of it live per se. And then you get Again and Again. And I actually like this song. I do like it coming back. My concern is I don't want Again and Again coming back, and then you're going to have That Girl Is You and She at the same time. What I said at the beginning of this tour, the less we get of a wait of Come Tomorrow, the better. It could go away, right? I would love Again and Again, Virginia in the Rain, Black and Bluebird, but I'd rather them just not play it than play it. And they weren't really playing, Come Tomorrow had 1 or 2 spots per show. Sometimes there was shows with no Come Tomorrow, which was awesome. But you have 3 of them, and 2 of the 3 to me are not songs I want to hear. So those are 3 songs that could have been something else, even though I like Again and Again. But I like seeing that song come back. To me, when you've already gone that far into the set and you don't have much going on, we get a Warehouse, and then we get Madman's Eyes again. I think that's great. They're bringing it back. They're testing it out. Awesome. And then we get A Grace Is Gone, which again, another hit. Not a bad song, but when you're 14 songs in, and then you get Grace versus something else, I don't know. I really don't know. What would you say to Dancing Nancy's a nice little 1-2 punch, but then you go and it's a downgrade to Louisiana Bayou. I don't see. And again, this is just coming off the high from last night to get this type of stuff. And then you end with Gray Street, a great ending. I think Gray Street with the 3rd verse is just powerful. I think it will always be powerful. To me, Gray Street with the 3rd verse is just going to forever be something we love. The 3rd verse makes the song. Then in the encore, very interesting. We have a Cornbread, which I personally am not a fan of. I think the song goes nowhere. I know it gets crowds going, so I'm sure people stayed in their seats instead of leaving early because they got Cornbread. But to me, don't really need it. But to end on Ants Marching is actually a great thing. This is probably one of the best closers in a while for this band to end on Ants Marching. because they've had a bunch of songs that I would have left early on, but Ants Marching is a great ending. But overall, the verdict on this show to me is DMB was like Michigan State the last two games. Friday was the game Michigan State played Michigan. Tonight, Saturday the 6th, was Michigan State playing Purdue, and they got upset. Purdue stormed the field. But to me, this was a step down. I hope some of the stuff stays in Grand Rapids. Doesn't mean you couldn't enjoy this show. Doesn't mean that there were not great moments per se. I was listening again to some clips here and there, but this is not a show I would go and travel to from Connecticut if I knew this was the set list. This is not a destination I would head to in 2021. Maybe in 1998 and 1999, but I'm not flying out to Grand Rapids for this show. And I actually said, hey, maybe, Clarkson, Michigan was another show that was in Detroit. And I was like, hey, I was telling people, hey, go to this Grand Rapids show. I'm sure it'll be better. It's an arena show, blah, blah, blah. When we get to the Clarkson, Michigan show, I actually think it was better than this show. I actually think that the Clarkson show had some better hitters than this show. So that's just my opinion from there. And Connor says, Cornbread to Ants Marching, my favorite encore of the year. Oh, so you're a Cornbread fan. Okay, fair enough. Like I said, I know it's popular. To me, it goes nowhere. If there's songs like 41 that stay on this same type of jam backing rhythm and they just jam over it, but to me, I don't like Cornbread in that sense. But that's how you feel, right? Can't tell you how to feel, and that's cool. If you like that, it's good. Good for you. But just to go to Clarkson, Michigan. So if we look at Clarkson, Michigan, now here's the thing too. They didn't play Jimmy Thing tonight. If we go to Grand Rapids, there was no Jimmy Thing at all. And it's interesting to see that these shows, now they did have a long song in Seek Up. They had Seek Up in Clarkson, but there's not really many songs that are long. Like they didn't do a Crush, right? They played 20 songs, but Seek Up is the only long song. You could say Warehouse, I guess. They have a little bit of a jam there. But there's not really other long song like a Jimmy Thing or Stone or Bartender. And I don't know. It's interesting to see. I wonder what these songs are going to clock in as time-wise when Almanac gets a timeout, because the last two shows, there hasn't been more than one really long song. And sometimes they add a bunch of them. This is the Clarkson, Michigan show. So looking back at it, I was like, okay, this is a midweek show. It was cool, but I thought, hey, Grand Rapids is going to be better. But when I look at this show, you have a Seek Up opener to Granny. This is the thing. It's all about how shows start to me, how the momentum carries. You can have a couple songs that I'm not a fan of. Like, I don't like Can't Stop. But a Seek Up Granny Warehouse, that's a solid 1, 2, 3 intro. You get a Can't Stop, Go to the Bathroom. You get the new renowned sweet, So Damn Lucky, Rhyme and Reason. Funny the way it is, Walk Around the Moon 41. This is a solid little run here. And I look back at this show. I don't know why when I did the Clarkson stream, I was like, all right, this is all right, but I think it could be better. But I look back at this. This is a solid show. Every day, right, you got the Buddy. It's a fan favorite. What would you say, Ocean and the Butterfly? When I look at this little combo here, listening to the Ocean and the Butterfly at the Gorge, I give it a little more props than I originally thought. So I think this is a solid thing. The Spaceman Liberation. Now, this is only 5 minutes. I feel like Spaceman has been longer in my previous experiences. And that's why I'm looking at it like, Okay. But let me like even if I look at like if I look at Spaceman, it was 10 minutes with Branford Marsalis in 2015, my first pit show. So yeah, it was about half the time. So I guess that makes it not as bad as I thought. But this show I think is better than the show we got tonight. But we're going to talk to Tony C in a moment and get his thoughts. But and the end of this show was obviously not as good as the end of this show. You got a Singing from the Windows PNP Rapunzel versus Ants Marching to end off there. 20 songs each show. That seems to be the standard. They're playing about 20 songs a night. So we'll see what it is. But I just thought that this show, again, I compared this to Michigan State the last two games. If you enjoyed the show, great. Let us know in the comments what you liked about it. But I look at the show and, not too thrilled about it. To me, it's a throwaway show. Just from the set, just from me again listening to some stuff. But we'll talk to Tony C about what he liked, what he didn't like. And so the band's gonna go to Mohegan. I just hope that some of this stuff goes away. We don't need all this Come Tomorrow. You can take away all three of those songs and just play for 2 nights at Mohegan. Don't play Come Tomorrow. I wouldn't be mad. Bring us Dive In. Bring us Broken Things. Bring us The Riff. I'll be happy with some of that stuff. Bring us What You Are. And we'll get in there. And all right, so what I'm gonna do is in a moment, I'm gonna call Tony C. He said he's ready, and we're gonna bring him on. Let us know if you can hear him, okay? And Tony, just make sure when I call you in a second, turn off or put this on mute. Make sure you put the YouTube stream on mute because I'm gonna call you. So I would do that right now, Tony. Put the stream on mute. And then I'm going to call you and you'll be able to hear me because it's probably going to be feedback if you're on your phone and you have the stream up. But we're going to reach out to you here.
Hello.
Hey, is this Tony C?
This is Tony C.
Yeah. Hey, you're live on the stream. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Marcus. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, man. This is really cool.
Yeah, and we appreciate you coming on. So just give us your thoughts about the show tonight.
Well, I don't know. You kind of touched on a lot of things I was going to say about last night kind of being a little bit better because I actually did go to last night's show too, but tonight was still great. I really thought they were going to play Minarets when they did Madman's Eyes again. So, but I really thought Minarets was coming. But tonight's show was pretty awesome. It was worth the 2-hour drive from where I live in the Ferndale area. So, no complaints. Definitely had a good time. The only thing is about that venue is it's a little small. It's kind of hard getting in.
Okay. And I know from looking at the history of the venue that in 98 and 99, they had about 12,000 people at the venue for those shows.
That's what one of the attendants said, that there was about 12,000 people there tonight.
Gotcha. And how was the sound? So you go to Columbus, that's a world-class, NHL arena, and now you're in Grand Rapids. How was the sound and the mix tonight compared to last night?
Tonight was kind of like last night's little brother, and it's funny because Columbus is the Blue Jackets' home. That's the professional hockey team, and tonight was a semi-pro hockey team's arena. I forget what the team's name is. They had their stuff all up, but they definitely didn't have the firepower that Columbus has, in my opinion, sound wise.
Okay.
But it was still good. It was still a good sound. I was a little bit closer tonight too, so that might have made a difference. I was a little bit further away in Columbus.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. And so
that Seek Up tonight was really, really good. That was the standout in my mind.
Okay. And what about it? Like what elements of Seek Up made this one kind of your favorite?
It was they just took their time with it. I like when they were going into it. I kind of was telling people, I was like, well, this is what we're going to be hearing for like the next 14 minutes, and I'd be actually surprised to hear how long it ended up being, because that was my guess, 14 minutes, and it really did seem like they just let it develop, the way it should,
Gotcha. And then the opening 3 songs, like I said, we look on paper and we're like, That Girl Is You, Funny the Way It Is, Satellite. Was there anything, did it seem like it was kind of like a worse start than yesterday? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What did you think about the first 3 songs?
Well, I liked it, and I don't know, I was happy for people to be able to hear those songs, because, a lot of people do go to the shows to hear those songs. So when they do play them, I take it with a grain of salt, whereas, I was hoping for minarets or, something a little more deep. At the end of the day, you gotta play the songs that got you there, and that keep the people in the seats. So Columbus's opener was definitely better than tonight's, 100%.
Gotcha. And how was the crowd as far as when they play those hits like You and Me, Satellite, and then versus the deeper cuts? How was the crowd was this crowd tonight more of a mainstream radio crowd, or what was the crowd like?
Definitely. You could predict when the cheers were going to come,
Gotcha.
And it kind of in the parts that get cheered for often.
Okay, interesting. All right, and yeah, so I'm guessing then ants marching at the encore then must have been a big moment.
I actually predicted that. I was saying that it seemed like a night that they would end up going with ants marching as the closer. That cornbread threw me off for sure. I don't know how to feel about it. It was a good live performance, but I guess I don't think I've listened to that song enough to relate to it as much as some of their other tracks.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, it's a song to me. I haven't been a fan of it. I understand Connor's on the chat. I know you saw Connor loves it. I know some people like Connor that go to a lot of shows and love it, but to me, it's an acquired taste. Ironically, the subject matter, obviously,
right,
it's an acquired taste for me to enjoy it. I don't think that. And so this show had had 3 Come Tomorrow, 3 Big Whiskey, where Columbus had they had the same amount, but it's just different songs. So we have
Why I Am is one of my favorites, so I was definitely jumping all around when they did Why I Am. Just a high energy song.
Yeah. Oh no, it is definitely. Yeah, it's a high energy song. It's a song that's a tribute to Leroy. So I know it's a popular song. To me, it's hit or miss. That's just because my personal thing is, so tonight you get She, you get Why I Am.
Why did they do She again tonight though? I didn't get that. They did that last night.
Yes, I saw, and it was the tour debut. So they did the tour debut last night. And my thing is this, and maybe you're different with those songs. Why I Am and She. Now I think Why I Am is much better, but I don't go to see Dave Matthews Band do rock. I go to see them do like Madman's Eyes. That's a darker. I go to see them do that, if anything, rock. I don't go
I'm
to see
obsessed
them.
with that song right now. That song is a 10 out of 10 in my book. It's amazing. It embodies like the Dave Matthews Band in every way.
Gotcha. So you've had 2 listens, and you're saying it's a 10 out of 10 from being at the show.
Definitely. Well, I was crazy because I mean, you get a lot of variations in their music, but it sounds like they're like trying to play it the way they want it to be heard, because it was like verbatim from the night before. I mean, I'd have to review some of my footage, but I mean, it sounded just like it sounded in Columbus.
Okay.
Because, I was kind of, listening to it all day up on the way here, too. And
Right. Yeah. So it's a new song. You're soaking it in, driving to it. So that's interesting. So that's good to know that it was the same, because I know sometimes the first couple plays of a song, Dave will mix it up. Right? We've had all sorts of varying lyrics of certain songs in the late 90s and early 2000s. So that's interesting that it's the same. There's some.
I feel like excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
Yeah.
I feel like they're proud of that song right now. I feel like they're really, like, kind of, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like they're proud of it right now.
Yeah, and there's someone had a theory online that it may be about like a school shooter or some type of mass shooter, Madman's Eyes. I don't know. I have to listen to it more, but there's
I mean, you got it in the title there.
Yeah, someone had a theory there, and about that's what the inspiration was. I think that this, obviously I said it last night, Dave is married. He doesn't have girlfriend trouble or side chick trouble. That's what a lot of his early music was about, from the heartbreak, the deep cutting stuff. Some of the stuff he challenges God, like What You Are, American Baby intro, is just, again, she said 1,000, like that part of his life is gone. So I can only guess that it's either a politician or some other current event or some other sort of demon that's bothering him now. Like he's trying to, he has passions about climate change and the evils in the world. So I wouldn't be shocked if it's about some sort of figure or some sort of, violent concept, like a mass shooter or someone who's hateful, because that's really what gets Dave fired up. He's passionate about trying to change the world in that way.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
So,
but anything that they do that has that like Egyptian like spin to it, or that mystic feel, is just has always been like my favorite of their music. Like The Last Stop, Minarets, this new song. The way they use the horns, even like Squirm. I saw them do Squirm at Riverbend in Cincinnati, and I had never seen that song live before. And it was like, when I left there, that was the one that really stuck with me, was Squirm. It's like the way that they use those horns, and like, I don't know, like the message in that song. It's just like, it's really not something to be forgotten if you're like there to witness that,
Mm-hmm. Right. And I agree 100% is that those darker minor scales that has that sound of Northern Africa and the Middle East, their music and their cultural, art. It really, that's what D&B does best when it comes to that harder stuff, the heavier stuff there. So, so you go to these.
What's the last show before they? I know that there's the Dave and Tim in Cancun, but what's the last show? Is it in New York?
So the last full band show, and I'm going to bring this up for everyone that's watching. The last, we have Madison Square Garden a week from today. I'll be at that show. That's the last full band show.
Nice.
And now, after,
so you're going to 3 more. So you're going to 3 shows before it's all said and done.
Right. I'll be going
the 2 Mohegan Sun shows, and then MSG.
Yep. And then now the thing is, there is a There is a show, Dave Solo in Seattle, Washington. He's playing a show called a Smash Benefit Songs of Hope. That's on November 20th.
Oh wow!
So November 20th is 2 weeks from today. It's Saturday the 20th.
So in the last Mohegan Sun show and then MSG, they got Dumpster Punk with them, right?
So the Madison Square Garden shows do. Mohegan doesn't have a guest.
So there's 2 MSG shows too.
Correct. So it's
wow.
It's Monday, Tuesday at Mohegan, and then Friday, Saturday at Madison Square Garden, and then after that it's Dave Solo for the Smash Benefit in his hometown. He lives in Seattle now. He's that's his primary residence. Virginia is his secondary residence. So
right,
he'll be going back home in 2 weeks to Seattle, and that's really the last that we know of right now. That we know of. So,
but what I was getting at was trying to pinpoint, right now where the last show is. I mean, wouldn't it make sense that the last show, the last song that they did, will be the last stop?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Or anywhere in that show. Now that doesn't always happen, but that would be awesome to go to Madison Square Garden. They play the last stop, and they play it in its entirety, not the short.
I was holding on to a Hail Mary hope that they would do it tonight, and I thought I just know that there was no way. I mean, if they're gonna do it, I feel like they would hold on for the last song.
Yeah, definitely, especially because it's New York City, too. It's a big market in Madison Square Garden. DMB shows there are legendary from the mid '90s to present.
Right.
They've had guests come on like Warren Haynes, James Brown. So it's definitely a market that gets it. There's some debate here on the chat. John says it's a casual set. Michael is saying the set was not trash.
I wouldn't call it trash. It was just a lot of mainstream stuff.
Yeah. Right. But I think John's been to 80 plus shows. I think even me too. Like when I travel to shows, like if the show is down the street, by all means play play whatever you want. If it's down the street in Hartford, I'd like to have certain stuff, but it's down the street. To travel to this show, for me to fly into like Detroit or to Kalamazoo or Grand Rapids and then drive to this show, I would be a little disappointed just because of the distance to get like That Girl Is You, the Funny the Way It Is, Satellite. Like, I think it's something where I try to maximize going to the best possible shows. And that's what John does as well. So John is going to be with me in Mohegan. I'm going to be his tour guide. So I think what it is it's like, you have the perspective, and I think it's a good perspective. You say, hey, this is the mainstream stuff. This is, they're going to play this. This is what got people to come to the shows. So you're okay with it. I think with John, who spends a lot of money traveling, for me personally, if I was to fly out this far from Connecticut to Grand Rapids, I would be a little disappointed with the show. But I didn't go to this show for that reason. I like to just cherry pick the best shows, the best possible weekends. I like to travel and go to these staple venues that people talk about. Next year it's going to be Deer Creek. And then the other shows, I'll listen to them. Like tonight, I'll listen to people's recordings on social media, on Facebook. But to go to this show, I think I would be, I'd have a good time, right? I'd meet people. I'd probably talk to you, hang out with you. But like, I think that we look at it from almost like a sports fan perspective. Like, yeah, okay, no, this was not the best. This was not close to one of the best shows on paper. Although, again, from your perspective, you're going to the show and it sounds great. You got what you wanted, but you know that it's a market that there's more of a casual fan base. So, and John said that too. He says it's a casual set. So that's always going to be a debate, I think, in the community, as far as what defines if it's a good show, a bad show, what you like, what you don't like. So
definitely, and all 5 shows I went to this year were all drive. So that's the way I decided how to do it. I just anything that was geographically possible of driving to and like back in the same night, or like with the Riverbend and Blossom shows, just going to see the show at Riverbend and then shooting over 3 hours, getting a hotel, waking up, and then going to the Blossom show.
Right.
But if you ever do, yes. And if I would have got on a plane and flown out and got tonight's set list, I don't think I'd have been in the same mood that I was in right now.
Right.
I'd have probably been a little bit bummed, but I would have found a way to spin it and just be cool about it. But I would have wanted a little more out of it had I traveled a greater distance.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what it is for that. And so you go, just if you can wrap up this weekend, you went to both shows. What kind of comes to your mind about this weekend and the shows?
Well, with the new song, I mean, it's kind of like they're back, It's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, they haven't gone anywhere, but that sound is back, and that's pretty cool,
Oh, absolutely.
I would say that's probably my standout thing right there.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So that new song and that old sound comes back. And that's awesome. And so you go to these two shows. This is the end of your tour. And just to even do it a bigger picture. So of the 5 shows this year, so not just this weekend, but all 5 shows, what's kind of the theme? What's your thoughts on 2021? What will you remember about this year?
Wow. Well, I got a poster from every show. I've never really collected tour posters like that, so that's something I can just look at and remember, and just have right there. So I don't know, just all the effort that was put into this. And I've to be completely honest, I've never really followed a band like I've followed the Dave Matthews Band this year, and it was kind of like a bucket list achievement for me to go to 5 shows. And I don't know, it was really amazing. I'm just real grateful that we have this band and that they're still touring and doing what they do,
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, the pandemic definitely. The shows I've been to this year, I felt the same way. It's this thing. I didn't imagine this would be happening in 2021 at the end of this time last year.
Never.
I was like, okay, maybe the fall, maybe just 1 or 2 shows in the fall, but they literally did the whole year. They worked through COVID protocol, where people got COVID in the band, and they gave us a lot of great shows. Well, hey, Tony C., thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being willing to come on. And
absolutely, thank you so much for having me, Marcus. It was a pleasure. This was a lot of fun.
Awesome, and safe travels back. I don't know, did you make it back home, or are you still traveling?
I got about an hour and a half.
Okay.
The last thing I wanted to say though, have you ever been to DTE in Clarkston, Michigan?
I have not.
You should go there. That's an amazing venue. A lot of really, really legendary artists have played there. If you ever get a chance, you can Google all the people that have played there. It's a pretty amazing spot. It kind of reminds me of like Blossom a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I told you on another stream, my friend is from Waterford. He
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
So
yep.
he's getting married out there in the middle of June. So I'll be out there in June. I don't think DMB will be there. Who knows? They never know.
They come to Clarkston a lot. I've noticed that.
Oh yeah, that's the stop. That's the greater Detroit, the Detroit Metro stop is Clarkston.
I've seen so many shows there. I've probably been there 100 times in my life.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, I'll be out there. I have to see what the tour is going to bring. That's why I want to see where they're touring for that week. But there's a wedding. I'm out there middle of June. Definitely going to a Tigers game. May try to.
Yeah, I'm a huge baseball fan. I'm a big Yankees fan, so.
Oh, that's my team too. Yeah, I go to
Nice.
I go to Yankees Red Sox every year at Fenway, and
yeah, so you really do like to pick the best events, the best of what's around.
Yeah, yeah, I like to go to the big ones, especially for baseball. That Yankees Red Sox, but I'm definitely going to be looking to. There's a Tigers game that week. I was thinking of going to Canada to go to Toronto, but I also want to check out the Upper Peninsula, take that drive.
Michigan's awesome, and Comerica Park is a great place to see a baseball game.
Yeah, I've heard that. I know we had UConn. Not to get too off subject, but UConn had a Final Four against Michigan State there. That was Kemba Walker's freshman year. So I knew people who went out to Ford Field.
They won it that year, correct?
No, they lost to Michigan State, and then Michigan State lost in the final. But I know that Ford Field is in the in right field. Ford Field is right there.
Yeah, they're right next. I live 15 minutes from both of those buildings.
Oh, okay. And then also another connection is that's where the Lions quarterback who lost all the games. He was a UConn alumni. He's on ESPN. I'm drawing a blank, but
not Joey Harrington.
No, not Harrington. What's his name? I know his name. Oh, Dan Orlovsky.
Oh, Orlovsky, yeah.
Yeah,
he was a backup for a while.
Yep. So he actually played in the Motor City Bowl in Detroit, and then he got picked by the Lions and was part of that season. He actually had to play that season. They lost all the games because I think the starter was out. So that's a little Connecticut-Detroit connection.
I've been to the Motor City Bowl before because I went to Central Michigan University, and we went to the Motor City Bowl a couple years when I was there.
I think that's where my friend went. He went to Central Michigan, met his girlfriend, and now they moved to Connecticut because she got a job out here. He got a job out here in Connecticut, and then they're engaged now, and they're going to have their wedding in Detroit. So yeah, they're Central Michigan alumni. That and you guys got that quarterback. Was it for the Cowboys, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he had to play last weekend against who was
I'm actually a Giants fan.
Oh, you are? Okay, New York. They're having a
I was born in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, so that's like the Meadowlands, and that's where the G-men play. Yeah. There's no room for them in the city, so that's where they built. Yep. That's where MetLife Stadium is.
Yep.
And my grandma's house used to be literally 4 minutes from the stadium.
Oh, okay. Yep, I've been out there for basketball. They knocked down the Izod Center, and they put a big mall in there now. But anyway.
Yeah, they need to knock that mall down, that Xanadu. That place is the eyesore.
Yeah, they put a new mall. They have a new mall out there.
It's got a skiing hill built in, and it's an indoor skiing hill. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. So they made a different mall out there. It's called like something American. It's like It's like a Mall of America out in Secaucus or in the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm from that area, but I much prefer living in Michigan. It's a much better area to live in my mind.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that area. I mean, northern Jersey, New York. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of traffic, and
just too many people.
Yeah. So, and I've been out there. I've driven through there and been to different events out there a lot. But anyway, thank you again for coming on. And
thanks again. We should definitely do something like this again.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I really appreciate it. Yeah. This is very cool.
Yeah. You have a good rest of your drive home. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Marcus. See ya.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was Tony C, who's out in Michigan. And I didn't realize he's from Jersey. Northern Jersey, right across the river from New York, which is not too far from me, a couple hours south of me. But so it's interesting to get that perspective. there as far as someone who's at the show. It seems like this, Madman's Eyes is the headline of this weekend. You had some rarities last night, but both shows had Madman's Eyes, and that's definitely the hope. That's the hope for the new album, and I think that's the thing is the new album. Based on what we've heard so far, and again, obviously, we had the same thing with Come Tomorrow. Some of the best songs from Come Tomorrow came out right away. Then some of the so-so songs from Come Tomorrow came out, a couple of years after 26. So 2016, we get our first, or 2015, we get our first Come Tomorrow songs in rotation. And then 2018, we get the other ones. So same type of thing, 2020, when we had in 2021, both virtual shows and real shows, we get some stuff. And now 2022, we're going to see what happens. But I just feel like already the themes and the songs already are better than Come Tomorrow, the album. I really have, I'm really happy about what I'm hearing so far. So we'll see what happens with that. The poster for this show is, I'm going to go to this. Poster for tonight's show is right here. Let's see if we can zoom in. This is the poster. Just to give you a little bit of a zoom in there. It's got a guitar. You got an old man. He's got flowers. He's got some birds there, some bluebirds and an owl. Owl has been It's been frequent on D&B posters. Have a jar of fireflies. November 6th, Grand Rapids. It's a pretty cool poster. It's got a lot of the nature elements there, and a starry night. It looks like a scientific experiment gone wrong. Green starry night. So pretty cool. And yeah, Tony got it. And this poster already is. Somebody was selling this poster from the bathroom on a poster thread today. So this poster is already, people are already raving about it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's better than a lot, because what this does, again, it's got a couple of items. It's got the nature of, the great, this part of Michigan is known for the nature, Grand Rapids, Michigan, anything west of Detroit, the greater Detroit area is kind of just nature and beauty. So you kind of have that there. But that's the poster. So I think this was the poster. Again, people are selling these posters. And Tony C, if you're listening, you're saying scalping is lame. Yeah, I mean, I think what it is there is demand. And a lot of people end up trading these. So like someone was trying to trade the Saratoga Night 2 poster for this poster. Or you could have gotten 2 if you wanted. Yeah, someone would have taken it, but I think what a lot of people do is people do flip them, right? But a lot of people try to trade them for other posters. So they get this poster and they'll try to trade it for another poster from a couple years ago or from a year ago. I see a lot of that. Like someone, again, offered a SPAC Night 2 for this one. So, but it's a big business. I think the fact that this was in Grand Rapids, if you got to this show, you got it. Where some of the other shows it sells out, like a Saratoga Springs, Madison Square Garden is going to be very competitive for the posters. So, but that's good that you got a poster and you can hang it up. And that's pretty much what I do. If you look behind me, I got some posters here, some posters over there. If you look, I can show you guys. I got my Billy Joel poster right there. And I got my Patriots helmet. And over there, that's a Dave Matthews Band poster. But yeah, that's my Billy Joel MSG poster. And that's what I'll be. My first D&B post, my first Dave Matthews Band. And Tony C says he only collects from shows he goes to. That's what I do. I only would buy from the ones I go to. To me, I can't hang up a poster, no matter how beautiful it is. I can't hang up a poster of a show I haven't been to. Right. But yeah, it's cool. So just to give you guys an idea of what's going to be going on. So Mohegan Sun, Monday and Tuesday. It is actually 12:01 Eastern right now. So it's November 7th. Tomorrow I will be, technically tomorrow because it's Sunday right now. Just turned Sunday in the Eastern time zone. Tomorrow I will be at Matt Mohegan Night 1, hanging out with people. I'll have a post-show stream after I hang out with people. So it'll be a little sooner. I would expect around, let's just say 11:30-ish, but stay tuned to Twitter and to Instagram. I'll have a more definite time. And then night 2, what I'm going to be doing is it's going to be a little later. I have to get some stuff done after the show. Night 2 will be later because I'm actually going to be heading back home for night 2. So just as an FYI, night 2, it's going to be later at night, but I'll get it in. I'll be coming from the show there. So just stay tuned for night 2 because again, it will be later than night 1. Night 1 should be sooner. Although I look forward to seeing some of you guys at the shows for Mohegan. Madison Square Garden, night 1. Keep in mind for that show, I will not be there. I'll actually be at a hockey game for Friday. But I'll be listening to Sirius XM when I get back from the hockey game. I'll go live at 11 p.m. Eastern. And then Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden, I will be there for the show on Saturday. And that'll be a good one. So night 2, I will be there. Stay tuned for that show. That show may run later. I don't know just yet. Still working out logistics for that show and what I'll be doing, where I'll be. But I'm excited for that. There is no better place to see a concert indoors in an arena, in a large-scale arena like Madison Square Garden. Now, you have theaters and things like that are better than Madison Square Garden, but as far as an arena, a sports arena, the size of 15,000 to 20,000 people, there's no better place than Madison Square Garden. Actually, Mohegan Sun is probably one of the most intimate venues that you'll see D&B for an arena tour like this. Grand Rapids is the same way. It's a small 12,000 venue. I think Mohegan Sun is around like 8,000 to 11,000, depending on how they configure it. It's like 8,000, 11,000. And it's been voted venue of the year from different venue magazines. All right. And Tony C got Gray Street 3 times. That's awesome. 3 Gray Streets. Yeah, this again, that third verse makes the song. It just makes the song. Instead of going into that jam, you do 3 verses and then the jam. That third verse is everything. It's everything. So we'll see. Definitely, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. I also have, if you check out my YouTube page, you'll be able to see I did break down right here. I cut from this 90-minute stream. I got the 14-minute version. This is just a breakdown of what I did yesterday. So if you want to check that out, hit the like button, comment below, right? But this is just a breakdown of what we did yesterday. Says here, shout out to Connor. Says, I will address the elephant in the room and say Madman's Eyes was an absolute killer. So if you want to check out that video, that's a standalone. I clipped the video from last night's stream and just made it its own video. And I'll be doing that with some of the other content. You see I'm live right there. That's me. And also, again, if you missed it, I had a little. Let me bring it back up. Let's see. Yeah, let me bring up this just in case you missed it the first time. So I have a Seek Up. All right, here we go. You guys can listen to this song again. I made a Seek Up parody about daylight savings time here.
Falls back again. Falls back again. Falls back again. Out here in New England. Oh, look at her in her yoga pants and the matching vest. She basic as she sips her pumpkin latte all through the day till it goes away. It gets dark too soon. It gets dark too soon. It gets dark too soon. And for Halloween, she dresses up as a character from Sailor Moon. Forget about the sunlight, it goes away around 4:30. I hate how Christmas stuff fills the stores too early. Will any NFL team sign Ty Gurley? Cause he's a free agent. Soon we'll all find ourselves in winter's way. You seek up to your heater, try to turn it on as late as possible. I need some heat, it's too cold. But the bills are expensive, so you just bundle up a little more. Why is heating oil so expensive? I can't believe it. My old house has electric heat. It's worse than oil costs. I gotta turn it down so I don't go broke. So you should move to Florida and become a snowbird, so you don't have to deal with the winters. It's so cold and snowy up here.
So yeah, you can check that out. Coming soon to iTunes, the Seek Up Daylight Saving Times remix. All right, but that's all I got for tonight. We'll be back on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Set your clocks back, folks, unless you're in Arizona. Daylight, we got to fall back. We'll spring forward next year. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support. Help your brother out. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, these things help me to get more exposure. So I really appreciate you guys checking everything out. And that's it. So we're going to do the closing song, and we'll mix it up tonight. We'll see if we get. See what we can do here for the closing. Yeah, we're going to do Early Home. All right, so this is Early Home from the Batson Sessions. All right, you guys have a good rest of your night. Take care.
Early home to surprise my love and find my love in another's arms. My heart flew from love to rage when I read my love the final bitter page. Still warm though no embrace, her empty eyes on her empty face, and I will still rue the day. Why did I not just walk away? If I had only called to let her know, she'd have had a chance to get him out the door. A simple thing, but it's too late. The moment I've sealed her killer's fate. You could see right through me all the way. Empty eyes from an empty face, and I will live to rue the day. Why did I not just walk away? So we can start again, right on go outside, light on me. Still warm though no embrace, your empty eyes on this empty face, and I will always rue the day. Why did I not just walk away early home to surprise my love?